Thanks to Steve Bennett, the referee, who's kept us, and therefore you, fully informed over his thinking process in just making it absolutely secure for the game to go on. A quick reminder of the teams for you, the 4 Premiership debutants for Birmingham. Colley did play in the FA Cup, remember, last week. He's the right back. And we've got Clements and Clapham in midfield, and of course the man most fuss is being made of here, Christophe Dugarry. Arsenal without Patrick Vieira, but with pretty much everyone else available. Edu joins Gilberto in the centre of midfield, an all-Brazilian partnership. We'll see how that works out against the Blues of Birmingham.
17, Edu. 19, Gilberto.
We've got our interactive facilities for you.
The Blues today.
And the player cam may be no surprise to you. We'll be focused first of all on Christophe Dugarry. Red button on the remote and all that. Well, Steve Bruce has had an extra half an hour to get ready for a daunting fixture. And of course he's got a much changed team, Andy, from the one we've just seen little clips of that game at Highbury in August. I think only 4 of today's 11 took part in North London, whereas 9 of the Arsenal team, much more consistency of course than the champions. Here's one of the newcomers, Jamie Clapham. Did well in the Premiership with Ipswich.
I think what they've got, man, you're right, they haven't got a very changed team, but when you look at the people they've brought in, you look at Clements, good Premiership pedigree, played in it. Jamie Clapham has. Dugarry at the level he's played, Colley at the level he's played. It's probably a more experienced side than the one that faced Arsenal on the opening day of the season in that respect. They'll obviously want to. I didn't think they defended pretty well in the first half, the first opening half hour of the game. The free kick was a bad one to concede the goal. So important that Nico Vassen plays well and make Arsenal learn it. I think that was the thing that Steve Bruce felt his side didn't do in the opening half hour of that game. They were rather out of it before they were in it, and that was a shame for them. But I think this will be a different proposition. There'll be a fired up Birmingham City side here today, and I think that they've got to get in amongst Arsenal. I think that would be the key.
It's a ground that's much changed since David Seaman had his 2 years here as a Birmingham City goalkeeper. Remember, he played in their final game in the top division against Arsenal in 1986 until Birmingham, of course, resumed as a Premiership club this season. Martin Keown, believe it or not, played in that game for the Gunners. He was 19 years old then, and now he'll be pitting his own particular brand of defending against Christophe Dugarry and company. Dugarry, incidentally, wearing number 21. That was his World Cup winning number, so in one respect he should feel already at home on his debut in English club football. An ambition fulfilled, he's been telling us, to play in the Premiership. Now, the weather in Birmingham has been bitterly cold over the past few days. The pitch has been protected by a tent with hot air being pumped underneath the fabric. But of course the temperature is dropping, and with the delay in the kickoff, whether that will be a factor later on. But I was told about half an hour ago that the temperature in the stadium was 4 degrees above freezing. Let's hope it stays that way. Birmingham 15th in the Barclaycard Premiership. Whatever happens today, that's where they will stay. But Arsenal trying to regain their 5-point advantage. Manchester United cut it to 2 yesterday. Well, some 33 minutes late, Birmingham City set the ball rolling against the champions here at St Andrews. And goes Clapham. Nothing doing from the referee. Jeff Kenner at left back today.
Well, I quite enjoy that, Jeff Kennedy, having Jamie Clapham ahead of him. Martin will know that Clapham's played left back many times. He knows the art of what's needed defensively in that position.
And all credit to Birmingham City for speculating to accumulate. They have been hit by a lot of injuries, suspensions as well, though they of course are somewhat more self-inflicted. Ashley Cole remembered from that incident in August with Cisse. And typical run by Thierry Henry.
That was ominous.
A free kick.
That was ominous. First time he's touched the ball within a minute. And he left one or two in his wake. Damien Johnson, I think, just catches hold of the legs there. It is a free kick. And it was a free kick that Thierry Henry opened the scoring with in that opening day.
Yes, Nico Vassen's played every game since then, so he's obviously learnt from that slip, but it was costly on the day. It gave Arsenal the initiative very early on, and they're looking for a different approach here. Coley didn't get it away when he might have done.
Well, they almost got Gilberto, and I think Steve Vickers was trying to play him offside. And I think he sees this, Henry, and just plays the ball in. There's a little gap there, but Vickers just gets back. Really, it could have gone anywhere off Dennis Bergkamp, and Coley just hacked it against him. And the main problem for Birmingham today might be the fact that they have 4 players here who really nobody knows much about.
Bergkamp in the clear, onside. Now looking for support. Sylvain Wiltor went for the spectacular. He's been short of goals recently.
Chance was Bergkamp's. He's really disappointed he hasn't gotten this out his feet. You can see how they're not in line. Vickers has dropped off. He's kept him onside, and his was a chance. The only surprise he didn't get it out his feet.
Well, Darryl Powell touched on it earlier. The Arsenal attack are taking on 2 centre-backs who have played very little football this season. They're just back from injury. Michael Johnson, long-time player here, of course, and Steve Vickers. There's Vickers. Saw plenty of him in his Middlesbrough days. Gilberto. And compatriot Edu. Sol Campbell's got a problem here as Stern John seemed to be in a very good position. Clapham coming in. And a thrust from Christophe Dugarry.
Well, that won't do him any harm, but that was good pressure on the edge of the box. Arsenal trying to play it out, but they weren't allowed to. Savage started it, no surprise there. That's the key area, Martin, that they can keep Arsenal under pressure. It's worth the hit. That was dropping on his left side. You can see how comfortable he is here. Just couldn't wrap his foot around it enough to test the goalkeeper.
I was checking earlier this week what the Arsenal camp were making of Dugarry's obvious inclusion today, and a lot of respect from the Frenchman in the opposing ranks about the player that they're confronting today, and the likes of Wiltor and Vieira, of course, who's not playing. And you always like to, if there's one Arsenal player who's missing, if you could choose one, I guess Steve Bruce would choose Patrick Vieira not to be involved. He's still got that groin problem, so he's having to rest. Lauren. Bergkamp. Wiltor. Certainly plenty of give in the ground an hour or so ago, which is surprising given the conditions that we have up and down the country. They promised a thaw today. I must say we're not feeling it quite here yet. Played by Coley. Here's Canna. And he's one of the survivors from the Birmingham side at Highbury in August. And this is Stern John.
Well, I think at times Stern John and Dugarry, Mark, are going to find themselves quite in their own. The midfield quartet of the Blues, I think, are going to have to defend an awful lot. And it might be that Stern John and Dugarry have to give themselves a bit of time, hold the ball up. I want to see for Steve Bruce. That's Bergkamp with the ball, under no pressure, waiting, and all rerunning off him. I don't know whether Coley could have reacted better. I don't think he reacts quick enough to the run of Henry. He is the right back, he is looking across. He got a little attached to Perez. I think he might have seen it earlier and got across quicker. But once he hadn't gone with a Martin, well, the outcome was almost inevitable. It's either going to be a penalty or a goal.
The floodlights not at full power, but Thierry Henry is.
Well, I said it was ominous the first minute when he burst from the halfway line to the ball. That time the run was without it, but the combination's exactly what Arsenal looked for. Bergkamp with the ball, able to pass it anywhere he wants, and Henry with the run.
Wiltor. Vickers, plenty of Birmingham players around the ball here. Dugarry trying to, in some way, match what his fellow countryman has done at the other end. Can't do it like Henry, nobody can.
Looking at Steve Bruce, and he's furious that he's having a go at Vickers to say to Colley, and I think he knows as well. I think Steve would have known as a defender. I think the fullback should have been round earlier, should have been aware of the run of Henry, giving himself a little bit of depth to try and deal with it.
Clapham has gone up.
That was close, I think. I looked at centrally, and Ashley Cole had dropped in. Now whether he drops in early enough here as this ball's played.
Henry,
A little bit early.
rare to see Dennis Bergkamp starting a Premiership game north of the capital. From the other positions in the 11. In a way, Premiership games have been in London derbies and at Southampton. Collie in trouble again. He's lost the ball to Perez. Henry. Not to Bergkamp as he was trying to manufacture the pass. Some frowns from Collie and a gesture of apology. It's had a harrowing start to his Premiership life.
Well, the game in this league is played at an incredible pace, Mark. If Collie didn't know that before today, he certainly knows it now.
Strong work from Dugarry with his back to some defenders. Kenner. Dugarry winning the header against Sol Campbell.
I love this when he does today. He'll get a huge round of applause just like that.
You mentioned it earlier. Steve Bruce has called him the biggest signing ever by Birmingham City. Quite a label to carry. Johnson. Collie. John furthest forward. Keown went to play the ball, and in doing so, he thought he was being fouled by Stern John, but it's a corner.
I don't think that's a bad idea for Birmingham early on in this match, just to knock it from back to front. I don't think they're going to outpass Arsenal, so I think it might be a decent tactic of Birmingham's to get it forward early. Dugarry looks like he's got good spring. He looks like he can contest it with Keown and Campbell, and then get players forward, chasing in at the back of it, catching up play.
Clements with the corner. He supplies the second ball. Well met by his former Spurs colleague, Sol Campbell. Perez just checked to stay onside, and he's still checking because Bergkamp could play him on here. Hasn't done it quite with the right angle. But, work by Damian Johnson for Birmingham. Kenner. Haven't been able to work outdoors at all, Steve Bruce and his players, to prepare for this game with so many new faces. So they're learning their shape, really, in the full glare of the headlights. There's Bergkamp.
He's a little late, Dennis, there, I think. Jeff Kenner just overran it. That's what gave Bergkamp the chance to get the tackle. Got the free kick. The other decision would have been offside against Stern John from the pass.
So a fruitful opening 10 minutes for Arsenal. Campbell. Eddie's header, Savage collects. And fouls on typically. And to lift his teammates, certainly lifting the crowd. Vickers.
Straight, a little straight.
Despite losing 4 matches already, Arsenal are 5 points better off than this stage last season. Perez. The selection of Damien Johnson was the last piece in the jigsaw for Steve Bruce today. This gave him the edge over Paul Devlin for that sort of reason. And, perhaps could be more threatening in the other half of the pitch, and we may see him later on.
This will be interesting. A big side Arsenal now.
Edu. And Birmingham somehow survived.
Yeah, that's a great save. Instinctive. Just threw his hands up. But they didn't deal with the ball in.
Keogh. Laurie. See Birmingham trying to set a fast pace here. And great challenge by Savage. John chases, but the Arsenal have got the pace to match the Birmingham approach, and it was needed then in the quick-footedness of Ashley Cole.
Wasn't it just? Wasn't it just?
But Edu must have thought he was making it 2-0 a moment or two ago.
Well, they don't deal with the first ball line, and it just gets helped on, and he's just walking into this, and it's just instinctive from Nico Vassin. He's rather fortunate in one respect that it's at him, Martin. Had it not been, that was almost certainly the second goal. Looking to play it about, you can see they're under so much pressure, but you just feel that's what Birmingham City have got to do, ruffle a few feathers, legitimately, and within the rules, but make life as difficult as possible. You can see already Arsenal are comfortable when they're under pressure, Mark. They pop it about really quickly, really good movement in the play. Players happy to take it when they're under pressure.
Job. Early cross from Cannon. Hall's header. It's got away from Clements. Bergkamp. Everything was from Michael Johnson. And now has to chase back. As Vickers looks to let it run, but it hasn't run out, and Bergkamp was able to win a throw that Vickers was hoping would go Birmingham's way.
Well, that's a big area in the football pitch, the centre-backs. You look at the other end, Keown and Campbell, solid as a rock, and you'd be happy to go in, but it's just not enough football being played by Steve Vickers and Michael Johnson this season. And they've got to cope with two of the best in the country.
And midfield players coming at them like Gilberto. Here's Keown. So another iffy one from Wiltord. Ashley Cole made positive use initially of the ball coming his way, thought then he was impeded. Referee didn't agree. It's the third time, incidentally, Steve Bennett has officiated on this ground this season, and I hope Birmingham aren't too superstitious, because the omens aren't good. They've lost the other two games against Newcastle and Manchester City.
He was a little unlucky, Dugarry. Tried to just drag it on, didn't manage to take it, but then he almost nicked it past Martin Keown.
Look where Basson's come here. Kenner turns Wiltord, knocks it in behind Keown, but not quite the angle. It's a decent attempt from Jeff Kenner to turn the centre-backs.
That's what I'm saying. I think that is the best. I think for them to try and pop it about in midfield and pick passes, not right. Try and get it forward, try and put pressure on Campbell and Keown, test them at the back, play the game in that third of the pitch if you can.
Wiltord. Edu. Cross goes Savage. Wins it fairly. Got to do that today. He's on 9 yellow cards. One more, he'll get a 2-man foul. Flag is up.
Keown steps up just as the pass is played. Just to catch him. There he goes. Using all of the experience there. It's close, but I think probably just about right.
Jim Devine doing the job on the far side with the flag.
Oh, it's only 2 yards. Stay on me. I can go to left back from here if he wants, but he's totally ignored it, Mark Keown.
Gilberto, Bergkamp, go left now. Perez arriving at pace. Henry, great movement from him. And he's hit the net on the wrong side.
Wrong foot for me. This is incredibly difficult to. The wonderful move of carved Birmingham City wide open here, but to try and play this with your right foot when you've gone past the near post and open yourself up enough to get enough power and accuracy on it, it's really difficult. That was there to be hit left-footed.
He'd opened himself up much more. He'd have got a hernia, wouldn't he?
Really difficult.
But the way Perez knew instinctively where Henry was going was a joy to behold from Arsenal's point of view.
I just think, you know, it's a little bit of the fascination. People who are front players, that was great. If you were watching Manchester United and it was Van Nistelrooy, you know he'd have been heading for the 6-yard box for anything fizzed across. The amount of times you see the opposite from Henry, he pulls out to that kind of area, just 16, 18 yards out. And the lads know that at Arsenal, they just pull everything back towards them.
Different kind of pull there from Arsenal. It's shirt pull by Lauren on Clapham.
Flag up again.
Certainly thinking quickly, Dugarry.
Not much in it.
Bergkamp switching now to Robert Perez. For Sky Digital viewers. Dugarry and John going for the same ball.
I don't think that's bad. I mean, again, it's another ball. People say it's just a big, long, hopeful ball. Yeah, but you have to play what you're playing against. And you have to look at where your strengths are. Stern, John and Dugarry look like they're up for it. They look like they're lively. So if that's the case, get the ball up nice and early into certain areas and catch up the play.
Arsenal only 6 clean sheets in 22 Premiership games. So Birmingham must look at that and believe they've got a chance to get a goal back and maybe more here. But they've got to keep it tight at the back, and that's going to be very difficult. And certainly Savage is doing his best. And they're getting in protected challenges in front of the back four. Cole.
He's getting some stick, doesn't he? You remember the opening day?
They do. You better believe it. Suggestion was that Ashley Cole went to ground too easily. Cisse got a second booking, which was later rescinded. And he's been topping them up since then. He's on a 2-game suspension at the moment for the tallying up procedure for yellow cards. Clinton Morrison also suspended, Jeff Horsfield as well. Perez. Was sent tumbling. Birmingham's first home game of 2003. There's no doubting the New Year's resolution here: stay in the Premiership. And his team showing the sort of resolution that, of course, Steve Bruce did for so many years as a player. Often against Arsenal in big games for Manchester United.
Well, he knows this is a massive spell for his team. It's 5 games, the 2 they've just had, not this one, and the 5 coming after it in quick succession. They're all vitally important.
And they have lost their last 3 games if you include the FA Cup tie. More bother here again.
Yeah, we couldn't manage it. With the first of the day.
Steve Dyson, contact the control room, please. Could Steve Dyson contact the control room?
It's almost a welcome to the Premiership type kind of game for Corley playing in that. I talked about that area, didn't I? I talked about him and Damien Johnson and the importance of those two playing well because of the way Arsenal play, with Cole, with Perez, with Henry, all enjoying that side of the pitch. And they've been tested in that side of the pitch time and time again.
Here goes Henry. He's now scored in Arsenal's last 4 Premiership games. And he's taken his tally with his goal today in the league this season to 13. Still a couple behind the Premiership scorer so far, the very much informed James Beattie. Henry, of course, finished top goal getter in the league last season. Wiltor. Gilberto. Lauren. Edu. 20 back for Birmingham. Wants to keep it through Wiltor until trying to get too far ahead of Edu, and then there's a ricochet that had Perez scampering. All that to try and prevent a goal kick, but a goal kick it is. Halfway through the first half, Birmingham City 0, Arsenal 1. Well, we've got FA Cup replays for you. A double header this week, Dagenham and Redbridge against Plymouth, Sky Sports 2 at 7, and the floodlights won't be as good as they are here, even at half power. And Coventry against Cardiff. Harry McAllister's men have a chance to progress into the next round. Cardiff, I'm sure, bring plenty of support. Sky Sports 2, join us for that Wednesday at 7. The name of Cardiff in the FA Cup bring back some memories for David O'Leary, I'm sure. Long ball from Michael Johnson. Headed on by Dugarry, and just a danger for Arsenal that Keown and Seaman would get too close to each other there.
Yeah, I know it's percentage football, but if you're Birmingham City, it's giving them the most promise.
What you've got actually up top for Birmingham, 2 very technical players prepared to play the percentage game and put themselves about, which is to their credit. Maybe not the natural kind of football they'd like to play. You know all about Dugarry. Stone John's got plenty of twists and turns and tricks to his game. Raised by Lauren, made contact with the ball. And he's just prevented it going behind for a corner. Birmingham were hoping they might have got a free kick for possibly dangerous play. Took both strikers out the length of the throw from Kennan.
Well, I think you have to have somebody from midfield attacking that. That's a golden opportunity in a game where they might be few and far between for Birmingham.
Bergkamp, of course, got his 100th goal last weekend in that FA Cup connection against Oxford. And will Henry reach his tongue today? Collie. From the left-hand side and making some space for himself by doing just that. Parried by Seaman and carried within range for him to collect.
It's well played. Best piece of football that Birmingham put together this afternoon.
Henry left 3 in his wake. And Stephen Clements came across and dispossessed the flying Frenchman. Clapham. From Dugarry to general appreciation around St Andrews. Clapham trying to reverse it to John, flicked off Keown. Arsenal certainly not having it all their own way, though they do lead.
The front two are managing to push Arsenal back. That's a few balls that they played early on in the match, so Campbell and Keown have dropped off a little, expecting it. And what that's created is a little bit of space when Birmingham get the ball now.
I mentioned Birmingham have lost their last 3 all away. Fulham, of course, a bit of an FA Cup flop, but the 2 previous Premiership games at Old Trafford and Elland Road, part of the learning curve for the promoted club. As, of course, all this is today. The game has been stopped in Birmingham's favour. One or 2 players, as you say, Andy, are disappointed on the far side, Clements in particular.
I do think the referees in this country are far too quick to blow the whistle when the team's still in possession. It's nothing just to wait a couple of seconds.
Kenner takes it. Steve Vickers at the back post, and others as well. In goes Savage. Comes down for Clements. Keown. Now they're leaning into it. It's a corner, and they've turned up the volume at St Andrews.
Well, there's no way the referee could have given the decision when Martin Keown leaned down. It looked, he was behind him, couldn't see it. The decision would have been the linesman's. And that corner you see there, saw nothing wrong.
Here comes the corner. Savage launched himself pretty much at the ball. Damien Johnson, very sit back in. Michael Johnson, making it difficult for David Seaman.
Well, the whistle's almost in the referee's mouth before the challenge takes place here. But I wondered about the header mark, the free kick. Could Christophe Dugarry gone for goal? He goes up. He's only a couple of yards beyond the back post, and he just looked to head that back across the 6-yard box. And I wondered, could he have gone for goal? There's Matt Keown, came off the thigh, as you can see. Then he gets his arm out the way just in time, off the thigh, and away for a corner. But the header was the one. As he rose, I thought, go on, pick your spot.
Oh, and Michael Johnson's got a problem, and the problem is called Robert Pires. Arsenal reassert themselves, a flashing shot, and Birmingham culpable at the back, adding to their own problems.
Well, what a strike. Just past Nico Vassen before he can move for this. But it's another error. From nothing, really. Could have dealt with it, had possession, should have dealt with it, but spin confuses him a lot. He doesn't know where he is, what he's doing. All he can do is drop it down to Perez, who's just kept running, and well, what a strike that is. Clean as you like.
Just when Birmingham were finding a head of steam. And that volume that was turned up very quickly silenced by Robert Pires. But here comes Dugarry.
Not bad. Got good feet, you can see that. Extremely comfortable with the ball at his feet. And he's got enough ability to embarrass people. Skips past Sol Campbell here quite cleanly. Just cannot keep the shot down.
Well, he's doing his best, Dugarry, but it's the Arsenal Frenchman that have found the range. Pires adds to Henry's opener. Pires was the only Arsenal player in this starting 11 who didn't take part against Birmingham in August. He's made his mark here as he was on his way back from that cruciate knee ligament injury problem that kept him out of the World Cup. Edu, it's Ashley Cole, comes out to Pires. Will be kept in by Bergkamp. Arsenal reposition in the centre. It's not their way just to sweep in crosses. To put passes often a more central route. Good work by Dugarry. Get Birmingham back on the ball, but not for long. Edu. He's been given offside. Might be worth another look.
You want to step out here. And they do get the benefit here. Yeah, so you look at the nearest the linesman. I think Jeff Kenna's probably playing him onside, but when there's that sort of distance between the players, you often get the decision going the defender's way.
We're booking here for Lauren.
I think you might be saying it's the first one. It's not a very clever looking one, was it? Well, rattles Dugarry there.
By Kenner, and David Seaman came out very confidently. There's been one or two questions asked about him coming into the crowd of players to make catches like that, but as expert it needed to be by Kenner. Just diverted away from Wiltor. Oh, and Michael Johnson, I'll tell you what. Arsenal really believed that was a penalty. We might get some support from us up here for the claims, but not from Steve Bennett, the man who mattered. Dugarry, Clapham. Oh, and now Edu. In the light of the one at the other end, it's the two number 17s who made challenges here. They could have put their teams in defensive peril.
Well, Ada would need to have to win two to have been given a penalty there, Matt. I didn't think Ada got too much of the ball there, I have to be honest. Whereas at the other end, there was certainly a huge question mark as he turns inside, and he's passed him here, and the ball's played, and well, I'll tell you, he certainly had a hold of him. I think that'd have been a free kick, but how much of this does he get? Certainly wasn't a penalty outside the box. It looked everything a free kick.
Kenner. Dugarry. Roberto taking a few more touches than most players have been allowed in the frenetic nature of this opening half an hour, as if the players were even more pent up, being kept waiting for over half an hour. Kick-off delayed because of floodlight failure that occurred virtually at the toss-up when the players were getting ready to start at the original time. Wiltor. He was being followed by the player cam. He arrived at the right place at the right time for Arsenal.
No, let's just look at that. He just didn't give it up. He always thought that something might happen for him. He just kept going, and it did. It dropped absolutely beautifully for him. But you still have to finish it.
Jeremy Clapham now is being followed in that respect by Cam Sky digital viewers. The red button on the remote. I mentioned that Arsenal had only kept 6 clean sheets, Andy, 22 games. I thought that was perhaps a weakness after last season. I looked it up at this stage last season, 5 clean sheets.
So it is a weakness.
Kenner. Well, apart from watching his son Stephen, Ray Clements here to just keep a professional eye on David Seaman with his England coaching role as goalkeeping coach. Cole. Who was Damien Johnson. They bypassed him the second time, Arsenal. And Colley's got to be very careful. And what's Steve Bennett? Is he going to give him a last warning here, or is it going to be worse than that?
No, he's having to think about it. That's what the referee's giving himself this time. And he's not going to send him off, I don't think. But he can't do that again, I'll tell you now. I'm afraid when you've been booked, you cannot go to ground and going at the back of someone. Otherwise, you really are giving the referee a problem.
And of course, it was his fellow countryman, Cisse, on his Premiership debut. Didn't go the distance against Arsenal in August. Kenner. Who played for Steve Bruce in their time at Huddersfield. Murray. Talking about the reverse fixture from the opening weekend, I noticed that there were a couple of doubles done by the two teams below Arsenal in the Premiership, the only two to win home and away. That was, of course, Chelsea beating Charlton for the second time, Manchester United, West Brom for the second time, and of course if Arsenal win today, then the top three, but only the top three, will have done the doubles. That can't be coincidental, can it?
No, but it just shows you what a difficult league it is, and you know, teams can beat each other more than most.
7 minutes to go to half-time. Birmingham need to keep their heads up, their chins up. They have rattled Arsenal on a few occasions without going in the back of David Seaman's net. Clements. And it's the fact that Steve Bruce, centre-back himself, has had to rather piece together the back line for Birmingham today that's really been the major problem. Bergkamp. Free kick given against Clements. Played more than 100 games for Tottenham Hotspur, but this season hasn't been able to force his way into Dan Hoddle's thinking. Spurs have had a very good result today. If you missed the news earlier, they beat Everton 4-3, a hat-trick from Robbie Keane. It's only the fourth hat-trick in the Premiership all season. And Leroy, Owen and Beattie. Ashley Cole quite happy to let the ball go. 2-0 up, half-time approaching. Finally the referee returns it in a manner that Cole can cope with. Clapham. Perez. Edu. Bergkamp. Gilberto. A few options to the left. Perez to Cole.
Well, you know, when you watch Arsenal, every time you watch them, they probe on the right-hand side, Martin. They don't do an awful lot, but they just probe. But when the ball is transferred to the left-hand side, they really are incisive.
In swinging corner. Vasson might have got. Campbell heading it down. Steve Vickers certainly playing from the back, and Jeff Kenner likewise. He's done well this season, Jeff Kenner, who was almost, it seems, surplus to requirements during the start of the campaign, although he has seniority and There's the armband these days.
Good return from Dugarry there.
Dugarry on the move again. That's where Kenner was looking. So too was Keogh. Really snare it in. He might have done Lawrence pass. Arsenal can push out now. Savage gets the drop on Edu. Clapham, cleared by Cole, but straight to Stephen Clements.
Under his feet a little, didn't really get it out. You can see what he wanted to do, get it out with the right foot onto his left. But he rather had to dig the shot out in the end. When you do that, you inevitably get it going skyward. So he just has to dig the thing out. Wasn't able to step forward onto the shot. I think what Birmingham and Steve Bruce and Birmingham City fans should know that it won't be if they go down, Mark. It won't be because they've lost home and away to the likes of teams like Arsenal and Manchester United, if you like. There are other games that Steve Bruce's side need to win and need to take points from. That'll be the thing that decides the future.
And they've certainly been tough to beat, haven't they? I think they've only conceded 3 goals once in the Premiership, and that was at Chelsea.
Well, you look at for and against here before this game started of both sides. Birmingham had conceded 27 and Arsenal 24 before this game started, but when you look at the goals scored, to Birmingham's 19, we have Arsenal with 45, now 47, and there's the difference.
Forward by Damien Johnson. Keown is there. And Savage will keep going, come what may. Clements with plenty of aggression as well. It's been a fast first half. It probably hasn't been quite as furious as Birmingham would like to make it. There's no disguising the aggression in their approach. When it's controlled aggression, it's very much part of positive Premiership thinking. Sometimes, as the number of red cards and bookings tell you, it's crossed that line. They've bustled their way into a decent position here and got a free kick. Seaman smothers it, having not really made a move until the touch came.
That's because there wasn't enough pace in the header. Stern John, I think, got the touch on it. It's a decent ball in, but it's just too far out, at 12, 13 yards out. Not enough pace in the header. David, comfortable job of just watching it.
What a difference a goal this time would make to Birmingham. Settle Arsenal a little bit coming in at half-time. There'll only be one added minute.
That's 1 minute. Sponsored by the Accident Group.
Edu. Savage in again. He can keep the same tempo up, and maybe even a team as strong as Arsenal could wilt in the second half.
Well, I would be surprised. But you know what, goals change games. It's, you know, Arsenal get the second goal right at the time when you felt that Birmingham were going to get one, then it would be then. And Arsene Wenger signed, pinched that second goal, and a right kick in the teeth for Steve Bruce's team.
Birmingham unveiling their World Cup winner today, but Arsenal showed plenty of French flair. Henri Pires. And for all Birmingham's attempts to get Dugarry into the game, and he's worked hard and shown some great flashes, they have an uphill task in the second half. Happily, the floodlights are holding, but Birmingham perhaps folding. They're 2-0 down.
Next weekend, Saturday, football starts at midday from Old Trafford. It's Manchester United against Chelsea on Sky Sports 1. And then at 5 in the evening, it's Liverpool's turn as they go to Southampton. Channel 433 for more information on how to order that pay-per-view game. Sunday at 1:30. Again, it's a pay-per-view offering from the Barclaycard Premiership. Arsenal meet West Ham. And at 3, we're at Loftus Road with Fulham and Middlesbrough. Darryl Powell and David O'Leary with us this afternoon. 2-0 to the champions. And at the moment, they're in cruise control. That'll be Steve Bruce's message. Got to do something about this. But what? We'll find out from the boys when we come back.
Nick, your face! What? Get you a doctor now.
I better go with him.
The totally new Ford Fiesta is here. So get out more.
The customers came in 2x2, hurrah, hurrah. The customers came in 2x2, hurrah, hurrah. The customers came in 2x2, the painters, the lawyers, the school kids too, and they all came under the ox and everyone paid the same. The hamburgers came up 2x2, hurrah, hurrah. The fries, they came up 2x2, hurrah, hurrah. The food was served up 2x2,
A feast for one.
or a meal for two, and they all left under the ox and everyone had the same.
2 McDonald's hamburgers, 2 regular fries, just £2.
If you're looking for the best value for money broadband service, you have to get it from the right place. The place that gives you the benefits of high-speed broadband delivery, as well as exciting movie trailers, extensive sports coverage, and the very latest music videos. So where's all this available for one all-inclusive monthly fee?
Go on. Where do you think?
Call now for your free broadband information guide.
From the maker of Leon and Nikita. Now, one delivery is guaranteed to be a rush. The Transporter.
Sorry, I've got to pay for another trip to the dentist. Oh, I'll get cash back whenever I go. How do you wrangle that?
Oh, hey, just say!
We can't all afford private medical insurance. It's not expensive, it's a everyday health plan. An everyday what?
Come on! Hey, just say!
They give you cash for the opticians, physio, even hospital stays. Who do?
Oh, hey, just say!
HSA. Health-wise, it pays. Call today.
There are two types of people in this world. Those with a gamepad and those without.
Don't be so quick off the draw, Little Red. We're looking at the multiplayer game here.
The new gamepad from Sky. For more information, call or press the red button.
Now this town is big enough for the both of us.
See what happens when you use picture messaging from Vodafone Live.
Looky here, Paul.
Is it good?
No, just another chunk of gold.
Gold.
For the only bank that offers a flexible loan of £1,000 to £15,000 at an incredible rate of 7% typical APR, visit Kahoot.com. Like banking, only different.
Come on, Mum. Time to go.
Go? Go where?
The old people's home. They'll look after you now. It's for the best.
Are you mad? I'm 55.
I know, but I've had a word with them. They'll take you. Come on.
Get off. Why should I go live in an old people's home?
Because I want to put a snooker table in your bedroom and the kids are frightened of your moustache. Now, come on. Avanti.
2-0 Arsenal at half-time here after the delayed start because of floodlight failure, of course, but it didn't affect Arsenal, David, did it? What on earth do you do about this at Birmingham City?
Not trying to be funny, maybe you want the lights to go back out in the nicest way, because, you know, there's a difference in the class of the teams. I think Birmingham, they've come out and tried to get close to Arsenal, get about it, but Arsenal have come, and what I admire about them and Manchester United in ways is they've come out, they've gone, they go and try and win games, and from the start that they were sharp. They've been, in the last third of the pitch, they've been ruthless in that way. Good setup play.
That is frightening, isn't it? Look at him
From
go
his mother and
past.
father,
Yeah,
I
look,
think.
go.
The thing is, the fullback, I think, David, I think he's tried to get around.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think he was quick enough.
Definitely, I think the lad is there, but you cannot buy this. You're born with it, and it just kills you. And we spoke about it before.
Exactly.
What is Henry? What does he do up front? The biggest thing and the biggest threat.
It's exactly what we said before the game. We said, how are they going to cope?
And you can see the centre backs worried. We did a game here a few weeks back, and I was against Manchester United, and you know, Arsene Wenger's looking. He's thinking the Manchester United two centre backs, they had pace, so they could take care of Henry. They have a chance. But if Henry, the way he has started off today, you know, his first touch with the ball, he's glided by people. I think he was pulled down for a free kick, and that's a wonderful finish. And it was the last third of the field, as I say. The game has been stretched. Dennis Bergkamp has had space. They've moved the ball around well.
But they break your heart as well, because Birmingham have just had their best spell here. They've asked one or two questions, and look at this.
It's a bad touch there, I think, from Clement. Michael Johnson, I think, should have done better with the header. But Perez has just hit it sweet on the half volley.
If you look at Perez, the angle he's coming onto this ball and where he digs it, he has to dig this ball out. You know, he's not coming on shape
Johnson,
his body.
He gets a little nudge in the back there as he's trying to get that under control.
He did, but, you know, you'd want him to deal with that, in all honesty. I'm sure the manager would want him to deal with that. He wouldn't have wanted the ball knocked back in there in the first place. But once Perez gets on it, it's, well,
they've started well. They've been very sharp. And as you know, Arsenal, lovely finish. Just his body has to go and take that. Good finish. But at 1-0, and after about 25 minutes of Arsenal dominance, Birmingham came back into the game. They got around them a little bit, and really, I think it was Sol. If we do see it, the free kick that came in, he could have scored. We could have been back to one each.
They had a go. I think Birmingham had like 10 minutes spell, 15 minutes spell. They had a little go. The ball's come in. I don't know if they're going to show it. Dewberry got ahead of the ball a little bit, but we felt initially that he should have gone for goal. Looking at it again, maybe he just got a little bit ahead of the ball, but it was a good chance.
OK, we'll have a look at it in a moment or so. Got to take another break. 2-0 Arsenal here at St Andrews, and there's a few of the Brummies about here thinking, what next? What next? They need a goal. That's what next.
Today, I'm going to show you how to feed your family for less than £10. First, take a coat. Then, go to Pizza Hut.
Just $9.99 buys you a large pan or Italian pizza and delicious new cheesy bread.
Ooh, hot.
Pizza Hut. Great pizzas, great times.
The best film of the year. Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz, Gangs of New York.
On Sky Channel 250, the award season race is on. But before Hollywood's biggest stars can score the Oscar, they've got to face the press at the Golden Globe Awards first.
It's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Plus, Joan and Melissa will be out on the red carpet flagging down all the stars you want to know.
How you doing?
E brings you the best live red carpet coverage and post-show reactions.
It's nice to be awarded.
A full day of Golden Globe.
or Jeffers at Highbury?
Well, I thought that was look, he's looking to go down there at the end, but I've seen them given, and the referee, split second, he hasn't given it.
I think it's a bit harsh.
What about this?
No, outside the box. So they're giving a free kick, but definitely not inside. But they're giving that as a wild challenge, and they're giving a free kick on the edge of the box for that.
And Henri for pace. Keep your eyes on this. From the penalty, well, halfway line to penalty box. How long is he going to take? Bearing in mind, he's just in a jog.
It's unbelievable as well. Look where he is to Coley there. He's given him 4 yards.
Lovely ball by
unbelievable.
Lovely ball by Dennis Bergkamp. Way to pass. Goalkeeper's running out. Robbie Savage is the last player he wants to be running with, trying to track him back, and that's pure pace that you cannot do anything about. And wonderful start, because they've been sharp from the very start. The hanging around hasn't done them any harm, and as I say, they've come out, dominated, wanted to take a grip of the game, and they have, and scored at vital times.
The Blues are back, trailing by 2-0. They need something, and quick. The Gunners are drifting back, as is their wont. Player count for the first 15 minutes of this second half for Sky Digital viewers. Dennis Bergkamp, push the red button on the remote and then follow the menu instructions. Commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. The results went quite well for Birmingham yesterday, with West Brom losing, West Ham only taking a point when they looked like winning, Sunderland only drawing at home, and Bolton and Fulham finishing level. All those clubs below the Blues in the Premiership. But today, well, it's not as Steve Bruce would like it. Not for the want of effort from his team, but Arsenal have applied their class and, I must say, matched Birmingham for the battle, which you have to do here at St Andrews. So here's Cole.
Well, that's the first time we've seen that in the match, isn't it? Rather, Ian was hacked it from Gilberto under a little pressure. He's coped with it wonderfully well and very comfortably.
Holly had a difficult first 45 minutes with the throw. Here he is again. John. Arsene Wenger might expect Birmingham to really come at his team in these early minutes in the second half. And John has marked it to Colley, whose cross was again capably dealt with by the former Birmingham City goalkeeper a long, long time ago. Well, they're off the Birmingham bench complaining about that decision by Steve Bennett. It's a free kick given against Colley.
Yeah, I didn't think he did an awful lot wrong, Colley, I have to say, Martin.
Pires. Savage and Damien Johnson in quickly. Colley to Dugarry. Looking to link up with Stern John. Put away by Keown. Pires. Lauren was yellow carded in the first half. Switch from right to left for Arsenal. And he had to get that right.
He's got to get them all right. I just hope that the referee doesn't get carried away, Martin. If he does give a free kick away and feel that, you know, it's automatically got to be a yellow card, I hope that if it happens, then he only goes off because he deserves to go.
John for Dugarry. Martin Keown coming across.
Well, he's not the slowest Keown, but a little bit of pace from Christophe Dugarry there.
Birmingham would love to make one of these set pieces count. And it's the left foot of Stephen Clements. Well, right-sided corner for Birmingham. And Gilberto got to it. Clapham, who was trying to fire it back, scored a goal in his last Ipswich appearance. Probably didn't know it would be his last Ipswich appearance last weekend in the Cup against Morecambe. Keogh. Now Dugarry. He's back his way again. And fancy footwork. Clements is waiting on the edge of the area. Here's Dugarry. Clapham.
Chance. Great play from the Frenchman. Playing in blue this time. Wonderful skill. Everyone thought he was going to tuck this in when he skips past Gilberto, but great vision and awareness. I think the ball could have been better. Rather easily dealt with by Saul Campbell. But a decent positive start at the beginning of the second half for Birmingham.
Early going towards the near post, plenty coming in behind him, and they all missed it. Bergkamp having it on. So, not into Wiltor's path. Kenner. Getting behind that Ashley Cole, and then he was marginally grabbed by Stern John.
Well, if he was, then Stern John shouldn't be doing things like that. He's going nowhere except back towards his own goal line. It's pretty much nothing that, man, I have to say. I do think officials get, well, it's hard for them because players over-exaggerate the measure of the contact these days. That is difficult.
Clements playing more of a holding role in Steve Bruce's midfield. Having a savage press on when he can. Certainly the wide players are trying to do that as well. Damien Johnson and Clapham. Former here loses out to Ashley Cole. Is the Clements role. Trying to break up the Arsenal attacks, but not quite like that. Got the first tackle absolutely right. Later on.
Oh, just been talking to you, I think, here. It's that one there. He goes to get the ball, but Edu just drags it away from him, catches his ankle, gets away with it.
Vickers' header. Johnson actually made his league debut against Arsenal back in the old Division 1, the old top division for Notts County. Probably many of you can't remember Notts County being there in the early 90s. Wiltor winding up for the cross and getting it in. Perez, flag is up. He's got good jump, Thierry Henry, but he doesn't often jump at the ball.
I know, I think he's got fantastic spring, Martin. It's one of the things that confuses me about him, because he can out-jump most people because of his athleticism more than anything. Fantastic spring, gets up there, but he just lacks real conviction about wanting to go in and head the ball. I mean, he is quite a good outlet for them on occasion on the left-hand side. They do look to arrow it towards him, and he goes up and climbs well, just knocks it inside.
Nice little head there. Here's Savage. Henry can set off from these sort of positions and leave teams trailing in his wake. But he goes for Bergkamp. It's offside. Doesn't need to be stopped the game because Basson made the save, and he's putting some tempo with his distribution into the Birmingham play.
Well, that's Savage from the two teams there in that one little moment there.
When you think how quick the players are generally in this league, you're talking super speedy. Kenner. Cole's run into the centre from his defending and run out by Damien Johnson.
Well, this is almost game over here. He's got spot for choice here. Look where he is again, in his own half, but he switches on the afterburners. Look at Wiltord. I thought he might go right, Martin, but he looked for his mate. It's very close. I think he might have been given the benefit there, Dennis, but he wasn't, and the keeper saves it anyway, so no harm done for Birmingham City, but the threat was there for all to see. People talk about pace hurting you. Pace only hurts you, Martin, when you've got the ability to use it. And in Arsenal with Perez and Henry and Wiltord, they're players with pace, but also with the ability.
Hurt in a different way, as Edu is off the pitch, getting some attention from Gary Lewin. Gary getting another header well. And trying to slip Gilberto, he's fouled by the Brazilian. Gives away quite a lot of free kicks, Gilberto, but doesn't get booked. He's seems to have got that challenging down to a pretty fine art in midfield. Damien Johnson with the cross. Stern John trying to guide it down. Comes back out to Kenner. No alarms yet in the second half, at least in terms of conceding goals for Birmingham City. So as they work the break, 2 behind. Martin Keown, who did have a spell here in the West Midlands as an Aston Villa player.
I was there.
You were? And stands up there against John. Kenner, too high for Savage.
Only just too high though.
To Gary.
Really. But beware the break. It was the same sort of thing that happened first half, Martin, when they were pressing, looking likely to maybe get the breakthrough, and suddenly Arsenal broke and really punished them.
Colley. Taking Perez back. Perez does his job and Cole clears. Arsenal have only won 4 away games. Only 4, that's by their standards, of course. Most clubs will be pleased to have 4 3-pointers on their travels at this stage of the season. It's not done and dusted here yet.
No, they haven't. I don't think Arsenal got started. I don't know whether they believed the game was over as it came out at half-time, Martin. But certainly Birmingham have been the side on the front foot.
Can they emphasise that by getting 1 goal back? Oh, flipped out by Cole. Perez tries to get it away. And again, it is set up for all the almost panic there. The defending champions at the back, set up for space for them to use so ruthlessly on the counter-attack. Bergkamp. All credit to Birmingham, how they got so many numbers back so quickly when they were looking to swarm all over Arsenal in their penalty area.
And that might just be the difference, that penalty area where it dropped to, I think it was Stern John, who swung a leg at it and totally missed it.
Damien Johnson, now Clements. Coley. Perez didn't spot the run of Henry that time. Maybe Wiltord will find his sharpest attacking ally. He did. Here comes Lauren. Wiltord's gone on into the middle. And deflection on the cross, and it was awkward for Vickers. Basson probably would have got it, but he wasn't to know that.
That's good defending. I always think, deal with it. He has a look and he sees Wiltord, Martin, and he knows he's there. So having taken that look, he's got to deal with it.
Birmingham pulled everyone back. And Arsenal for licence to throw men forward like Sol Campbell and Martin Keown. Henry. There are a lot of men in blue between him and the goal. One of them got in the way, Stern John. It's a very open game. It's always dangerous to play it open when you're against a side with the attacking power that Arsenal obviously have. Henry with a corner. Arsenal still well represented in the middle. To get the better of one. And then now, this is interesting. It's going to be a yellow card for Martin Keown.
No, quite rightly. It's not the first time he's embarrassed Martin Keown today, and he does it again. Lovely skill. Look how quick his feet are there. Longs him into the tackle. I think actually Mark was happy to give the free kick away that far from his own goal.
But he won't be happy to give the booking away, because that means a suspension, and because this game is on a Sunday, and they don't play in 2 weeks' time at the weekend on a Sunday, they play on a Saturday against Farnborough. You've read all about that. The game Martin Keown will miss is away to Liverpool. Now Matthew Upson, of course, we've heard a lot about him. Arsenal centre-back. Birmingham want to sign him. He's not here with the Arsenal squad. Arsene Wenger told us to say nothing about the potential move when we asked him before the game. We might need to keep Upson.
I don't think there's a mite about that, do you? The Seagull, but it's a medical recovery and he's in the frame. Yeah, running short.
Seagull is injured, yeah. Here's Bergkamp. Not flinching from the physical side of the game, and there's been plenty of that. An hour gone. An hour of Stephen Clements's Birmingham debut. The next 15 minutes or so he'll be under the gaze of the player cam for Sky Digital viewers via the red button on the remote. Too much of that to Damien Johnson. He's got such speed of recovery, Ashley Cole. Talk about Henry's pace. I mean, Cole can't be far behind. And actually, if you talk to the Arsenal players, they say over the shorter distances, the fastest of all their players is neither of those two. It's Freddie Ljungberg.
I know.
He's not too fast at the moment because he's got a sore Achilles tendon. He's on it, stopping it. For bang in the face for Henry.
Well, this is the chance a little earlier I talked about. And, as the ball drops here, I think it's Stern John who just backs away there. Now that's a good chance at this level, Martin. It's on the half volley, and he swung the leg at it. And you just think if had that been at the other end and a drop it to a Bergkamp or a Woltord or an Henry, that they would have hit the target and really worked the goalkeeper.
It was a great knockback from Steve Vickers, wasn't it? Just into the right sort of area.
Well, they're up there again trying to pull on Lauren, but the ball not deep enough for them.
Ken. Michael Johnson was losing his balance and did well to make contact with the ball.
He gave himself a chance though, Martin. He saw the run early, he dropped off early.
Particularly after what happened on the second goal, he'd be pleased to have done that so efficiently. Clements. Clapham. To Gary. It's great to change of direction again. That shows what Birmingham have acquired.
He does like a step over Bugari, doesn't he?
He does.
He does love it, takes it up to defenders, a step over, there it is. Just a pity he couldn't miss the front man, near post. Another team effort.
Not only a World Cup winner, he was in the France side when they won the Euro 2000 as well. Mate of Zinedine Zidane. Pires. Here's Lauren. It's a very early ball by Pires, and Colley has got himself into a pickle there against Bergkamp.
It was a horrible ball for him to deal with, you know.
Damien Johnson. Colley. Steve Bruce down below us, points forward. That's where he wants his team to go, but across the pitch.
I think that's a dreadful pass. He got really good support up and around the edge of the box. Clapham was there, Savage was there, front two were there. And why on earth he's going up 50 yards across field on the halfway line, I'm not too sure.
Wiltor. He's given it away, going square. So he's catching. John. Dugarry trying to run in behind to his credit, and that's another square ball that's cut out. Steve John falling into the trap this time. I'd expect Pires to provide a pass of greater perception, but Colley decides that he's not going to be allowed to do that. No, it's the Arsenal bench that are all agitated.
Well, they want the free kick. That's why they felt obstruction. I think they had the case.
Actually, the first time in the game, the pace has just dropped a notch, hasn't it? Until this fella gets the ball, of course.
Say, hold that a minute, will you? Oh, must be the other way, surely. They just cleared that off, Thierry Henry.
Still perplexed about the throw.
Well, when you play teams like Arsenal, Manchester United, the teams that are all up there, Mark, you do need things to go for you, even little decisions.
Manchester United, of course, are scheduled to be here later this month, although I understand that fixture is now in some doubt because of the switch in the days of Manchester United's fourth round FA Cup tie. Wiltor, he's in behind, Bergkamp's waiting, he wasn't alone.
Oh, they've been off Michael Johnson at the end here, but they've picked a big hole in that right-hand side. Well, good options there, he just tries to fire it across the 6-yard box.
Some activity down on Steve Bruce's bench. Substitutions to come shortly, one feels, but here comes Vassen here. Bergkamp's clipped, and the header's looped in, and Lauren takes the credit.
Well, I said luck has to go your way. It's a lovely ball and a lovely run. Lauren really comes from nowhere. Bergkamp looks up, sees the run, and picks him out quite beautifully. We'll deal with this one, Vassen, but you watch this as Bergkamp looks up, edge of the box, watch him. There the hand goes up, there the ball's angled in. Doesn't get a clean header on it. And when you need a little bit of luck, Michael Johnson, who goes up with them, comes off him and loops over the goalkeeper's head. And that's what I mean about things need to go for you. Martin, that is not gone for Birmingham City and Michael Johnson in any shape or form.
All those changes I were talking about were being considered at 2-0, they're made at 3-0. Granger on for Colley. And Paul Devlin for Stephen Clements. He's a spiky character, Paul Devlin. He would love perhaps to have been given the chance with a 2-goal deficit. That was difficult, but at least in theory, possible at the 3. We'd be scratching our heads, wouldn't we, to find the last time Arsenal were 3-0 up and didn't win.
There's 68 minutes gone in the game.
Only offside. Steve Bruce, whether it's going to be Birmingham's biggest beating of the season. I mentioned earlier they did go down 3-0 at Chelsea. Drawn their last 4 home games in the Barclaycard Premiership. Manchester City were the last team to win here, and that was back in October, so it gives you some perspective about how well Arsenal are doing. Wiltor, Henry, is this the 100? You bet.
That's quality. Absolute top draw quality. Fantastic stuff. He really carved Birmingham City apart there. Quick feet in tight situations, but when they suddenly open up, look at that. It's just unbelievable stuff. A little injection of pace from Henry again, and an absolutely clinical finish. Just lovely football. Really pleasing on the eye if you're not a Birmingham City supporter.
Remember when they signed him, they said he wasn't really a striker. 100 goals in 181 games. Magnificent. King Henry. So he follows Dennis Bergkamp to that personal landmark. He's done it in much quicker time than the Dutchman. Wiltor played a big part in the goal. And it is now the biggest margin that Birmingham have been on the wrong end of since Steve Bruce brought them into the Premiership.
Yeah, but I'm supporting for Steve. I know he'll be disappointed. The boys are winning, it's as simple as that. Certainly as a player, and you want to be as a manager, but you know, you keep it in perspective, Martin, and you remember the team that you're playing. And as I said in the first half, this result won't relegate Birmingham City. Others might. This one won't.
Not exactly a dream debut for Dugarry and the others who started life in the Premiership of Birmingham today.
No, but
swift dose of reality.
They'll be better for it, and they'll have a week now to work at it. We only had a couple of days with these players, and that's not enough. I said right at the top, 4 new players in, making the Premiership debuts, 3 making the debuts for the club. It's very hard to absorb that, and when you take the 2 centre-backs who have hardly played at all this season, and you're going against one of the most potent strike forces in the country.
And they've served up a good pitch.
Yeah.
In the conditions around the country, it's been a great pitch. And Arsenal have revelled in it. There have been times in the match when they've been stretched by Birmingham's competitive edge. But Manchester United had their say yesterday and were looking good, not very far away from here at West Bromwich Albion. How good are Arsenal looking at St Andrews? Splendid, you might think.
Well, the way it's all panning out at the moment, one team's getting the opportunity before the other, saying, here we go, we've done the business, can you follow up? And at the moment, they're doing exactly that.
Manchester United next on, and you can see it with us, Sky Sports 1. Chelsea, of course, have a fantastic record at Old Trafford. That is second against third, remember, not to be missed. Arsenal's next 2 away games you mentioned in connection with Martin Keown, Liverpool away. They've also got Newcastle away.
Oh, I think there's some work to be done, but if anyone wants to know how they're playing, I think so today has shown pretty well, pretty confidently, with a great belief.
Martin Granger in his custom position on the left. Gilberto. Only on for 17 years since Arsenal last played on this ground. So, their fans will feel it's been worth the wait. No flag against Dugarry. Savage in the centre, Jones in the centre. Clapham waiting on the edge, unmarked too. Not spotted. It's a shame for Jamie Clapham, who was in a great position.
But he's done all right. I think for Birmingham City fans looking in at their new signings, I think Jamie Clapham's done okay. Thought the game rather passed Stephen Clements by. There have been enough good things from Dugarry to suggest that he could have a huge effect in the remaining games of this season. Coley, well, this has been a pretty eventful one at right back, isn't it?
I think the World Cup showed us there's more to come from him, better to come from him.
The game in this league is played at a different tempo from the one that was played the way in the Far East this summer, last summer.
He has 2 previous hat-tricks for Arsenal. One in the Premiership, home to Leicester a couple of years ago, and of course one this season in the Champions League in the Olympic Stadium in Rome. Clapham. Devlin's nothing like big enough to get that. Edu having time called on him. And Gio van Bronckhorst, his tailor-made replacement.
He's had 1 or 2 knocks, hasn't he, Edu, this afternoon? Had a bit of treatment. Game 1, Arsene Wenger, I think. Managers don't often confess that they feel confident the game is won, but I think at 3-0 up, you'll feel that.
Or even 4-0.
Ah, sorry, Mark.
Well, if he's going to get the hat-trick, you might be able to see it via player cam. Well, you will be able to see it if he does it. That's for Sky Digital viewers. Dugarry has darted in again onside, looks for Stern John, and Martin Keown killed the danger with one sure touch. Devlin backing his pace against Cole. He's done very well. And again, so too is Keown. That's why they'll miss him at Anfield.
That's good football all round. Great play wide from Paul Devlin, who skips past Ashley Cole. This is a lovely ball in. It's attacked well enough by Stern John, but fabulous defending.
Martin Granger's missed a lot of the season with injury. He is a top-class deliverer of a ball at set pieces with his left foot. As that showed, he picked out a Birmingham head. It belonged to Vickers. Trying to get in on the goal-scoring act, Franny Jeffers. First touch didn't take him directly in towards goal, which it might have done.
How'd he get away with that? He's going to head this against his goalkeeper and it's in.
Michael Johnson, who certainly got the final touch on the goal that Lauren's claiming. No Arsenal player to claim this one if it had gone in.
No, it wouldn't have been Thierry's hat-trick, would it?
I think it's just a measure of the panic that Arsenal can create in Premiership defences. Bergkamp's day is done. And he passes the baton to Jeffers. Jeffers was on target at the Hawthorns, wasn't he? Arsenal were last in this part of the world. And Bronckhorst trying to get Henry away.
Well, I think one of the strengths of this Arsenal side, Mark, is the way that they don't try and close a game down, even now at 4-0. If Arsenal can go and get another one, then believe me, they will go and get another one.
Dugarry. Clipped by Van Bronckhorst.
No, it's travelling the ball. It'll be brought back. But I think when Steve Bruce said right at the beginning of the season, and when we did the opening game, it was vital that, you know, he didn't lose players because the squad wasn't big enough. I know he's brought some in, but he's lost his first choice, 3 of his first choice centre-backs not available today. Now, they can't absorb that, Birmingham City.
Handball by Devlin. Manga's going to ring the changes again. Colo Touré.
I don't know why they give him instructions, just send him on and say, go get it and run.
He does like to do that, doesn't he? It's a question of what position he's going to be put in. He's sitting wide right, wide left. Going to take over from Pires, yeah. His goal was a crucial moment in the match. Birmingham were bristling with aggression and good intentions, just 1-0 down, and then he just arrived on the scene and flashed home the second. Basson never moved. And really, from that moment, it's going to be the tallest of tall orders for Birmingham City. Clapping. He has been playing regularly for Ipswich, unlike Clements, who's gone off, who's not had senior games for Tottenham. Devlin, and Cole something to think about. This is Dugarry. John. Wasn't time for the extra touch. No. Here he goes. Has instructions from Andy Gray. Colo Touré. Will Tour. Into the last 10 minutes. Sunday service at St Andrews. Normal service as far as Arsenal are concerned. Henry.
See how close it's at. You know, Darren Powell said he probably creates more chances for himself than any other player in this league, and that's an example, I think, of what he's talking about. He's way wide in the left, skips inside 2 players and comes within inches of getting himself a hat-trick. Great skill.
And here come Arsenal again. Will Tour.
It's unlucky because his first movement was towards the ball and then he skipped in at the back. This is the one earlier when it's played from sort of right to left, and this is, he gets it here so often, Martin. Skips past one just there, then he takes on the other, and you think, go on then, finish the night off. Oh, close.
That would have been the cherry on the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? Savage.
No, just looking at the stat, they're only looking for one more league goal for the 50th this season.
Got it right now. We've got 4, yeah. 45 and 4.
I suppose it would be fitting if only we got that one, wouldn't it? Little landmark.
It would. Lauren.
Lauren down there. Not sure what happened.
No, I was following the path of the ball.
Looks like he's got the hand on the shin. Ankle there, looks like hold of the shin. Just on the ankle.
Remember I mentioned that superstition he had of a coin, a Spanish coin down his sock. Whether it was on that particular sock.
Little tangle of legs there. No more than that.
Well, Super Sunday in a week's time might have great interest for Steve Bruce. Fulham, of course, down in difficulties against Middlesbrough, who have an away problem to try and solve. Can they do it? You can see that with our Sky Sports 1. It's in And we just got a glimpse of Mark Bowen, who works with Steve Bruce. They're a very good partnership at Birmingham City. Thinkers about the game, young in terms of management and coaching. Know each other as players at Norwich City.
They work extremely hard at their job, I tell you.
Jovan Kirovski is getting ready to come on for Birmingham. The last change. John. Nearly came for Savage. Wiltor. Made Van Bronckhorst check and chase back. Which wasn't the idea. Clapham. Now Cannon. Two players down, and Birmingham down, and very much out of this particular fixture, but certainly not over quest to stay in the Premiership. So Dugarry, who hasn't been in the Bordeaux reckoning recently, it's one of the reasons why he wanted to come here. He's on loan, incidentally, for the rest of the season. There might be a permanent deal in the offing, depending on what happens over the next few months. And he's replaced by the international from the USA, Jovan Kirovski. Toure. Remember, we're running late because of a delay, floodlight failure just before the scheduled start, delayed us just over half an hour. Here is Kirovski. Stern John.
They had the half chance, the odd chance. But it is a difference, and it's one of the biggest differences you'll notice in the step up from First Division to Premiership. And when you get half chances, you have to take one or two of them in games like this.
19 goals against 49. And the respective league records of Birmingham City and Arsenal in this season's Premiership. But it isn't the Arsenals that Birmingham are trying to emulate, we must stress. Plenty of good examples. Charlton Athletic is one that comes to mind. Southampton, who also are now looking a superior force in a bigger stadium. Nathan Granger, who was interested as he came into the ground today, as the House Spurs were doing. A Tottenham fan from the infield part of North London. They did well. They got 4, but Arsenal have got 4 without reply. Probably be mentioned around the North London workplaces tomorrow morning.
Well, unless they give one away sloppily at the end of this match. I mean, defenders will want a clean sheet. Martin Keown and David Seaman in particular in goal will want to go away from here not having conceded a goal. There's a cough again. And you're that high up the pitch, there's a threat. Oh, he's not off, is he? Look at the... Again, it's Michael Johnson away over the far side, playing him on.
Devlin takes it on the burst.
Do you think he disagrees?
Well, knowing Paul Devlin, he'll tell you if he does, and he was going to tell Dave Bryan then. Took the comments, wanting to report them to the referee, which was nice to see. Understanding perhaps that Birmingham are feeling a bit frustrated at this late stage. Put plenty into the game. They've conceded twice in each half. Kirovski. Oh, Lauren, who had that injury problem and is not moving with total freedom. There's 3 of them, 3 back.
Oh, it's so late, that flag again. And where you have to look is not where Wiltord was, but the other side of the pitch, away from the linesman. And judge there, is Steve Vickers playing him on? He is. Tommy's just giving him a bit of stick on that far side, suggesting that he might need some optical help.
Birmingham spared further punishment, really. But how do you stop him? You just feel some days he's perhaps not quite up for the task, and well, that is only a human failing it. It's not deliberate, because Henry loves to play. Absolutely loves to play. He's got the mentality for the English game, settled to it very quickly. Never hear him beefing on about too many fixtures, or should there be a winter break or anything like that. And with his ability, playing must be an absolute pleasure. Toure. Kirovsky. Savage. Here's Granger. Gilberto a bit slow to pick himself up. And Savage. Campbell couldn't deal with it. Gilberto, though, limping, forced himself back into the fray. And again served the cause nobly. What he doesn't want is the ball there. And Van Bronckhorst giving it straight to Damien Johnson. We're into the 2 added minutes. Keown, still full of concentration.
Different agendas for these two. Of course, there are Martin and Arsenal. And Arsene Wenger will be absolutely delighted with this performance. It really has been quite majestic at times, so comfortable. Whereas Steve Bruce, I think, it's one of those, he puts it to bed, and they say, right, that's gone, that's over with. We've played this team twice now, we can't play them again, thank goodness. Let's get on with the job in hand.
But as you said earlier, he hates to lose, and that's written all over those familiar features.
Well, his team have worked hard enough. You certainly couldn't fault them for the work rate and how much they put into the game.
Savage.
There's been a huge difference in quality, particularly at both ends of the pitch.
Toure. And Bronckhorst. Some late booking for Damien Johnson, who's tried to keep closing down right from the first whistle.
He's only, I mean, I think I had a little sympathy with him. He was there, it was just ahead of Van Bronckhorst. He went on, honestly, I thought he won the ball. And I think in the 92nd minute of a match, I think he might have gotten away with that.
Hands on Jeffers by Vickers.
I think Henry may have this. He's just trotted up quite eagerly. Certainly worth a go, isn't it? If you've all got to. You know, this might be the last kick of the match.
Just took the very words from my mouth. It will be the last kick of the match, surely. Unless, of course, he just tees it up for someone else and Steve Bennett doesn't have time to blow.
Well, unless he steps back for it, he ain't taking it. Unless he's going to nudge it.
And he's going to give Will Tour a try. Well, when you think Birmingham City have been a tough nut to crack here, it's a tremendous win for Arsenal, spearheaded by Henry on the day that he reached 100 goals for the club. He scored twice, Arsenal have scored 4, and they're the first visiting team since October to celebrate a win at St Andrews. They complete a Premiership double over Steve Bruce's side. Arsenal regain their 5-point margin at the top. Birmingham City 0, Arsenal 4.
And we'll get a first-hand look at what Manchester United can do about that next Saturday. But Chelsea will go to Old Trafford as they always do and cause some trouble. Midday, Saturday, Sky Sports 1, it's Manchester United against Chelsea, and the same day at 5 from the Dell, it's a pay-per-view game. Channel 433 for more information. Southampton, at the Dell did I say, St Mary's. Southampton play Liverpool. Next Sunday at 1:30, again it's a pay-per-view game. Arsenal meet West Ham. And next Sunday at 3, we're at Loftus Road with Fulham and Middlesbrough. Darryl Powell and David O'Leary have been with us all afternoon. Their thoughts when we come back on what turned out to be, if truth be told, a stroll for the champions. 4-0. It's their 50th league win over Birmingham. Their most recent, their most important.
Remember forever. Where? On a Royal Caribbean cruise. Call now for a brochure on 0800 018 4040. Royal Caribbean International, the ultimate holiday experience.
They'll have better days. Champions have taken them apart here today, Birmingham City, beaten by 4-0. 2 of them from Thierry Henry. And what does that make Thierry in English football? The message to that corner where he was getting some stick today, 100 goals. And here is the Barclaycard man of the match with Claire Tomlinson.
Thierry, 2 goals for you today. That means you've scored 100 in English football now. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot because, you know, when I first arrived at Arsenal, I wasn't really looking like I was going to do that. So, you know, for me, it's a special day today. And, you know, obviously we won. That was really important for us. But obviously to reach 100 goals with Arsenal, that means a lot to me.
How much is that down to Arsene Wenger? Because when you came, you were playing out wide, weren't you?
Yeah, a lot. I always say that I have to give a lot of credit to Arsene, but I have to say as well, you know, my teammates were always, you know, they're always working for me, and I just have to finish the job. You know, they give today. Sylvain and Dennis Bergkamp gave me 2 great balls, and obviously the fans were really always nice with me. So that's all. I mean, that's at the end of the day what only thing I can give back is the 100 goal today, and I hope that won't be the last.
How did the delay affect you? It didn't seem to. You started really well.
Yeah, at the beginning, you know, it's always kind of difficult to start this game away from home at Birmingham. I mean, we know that they're fighting to not go down, so it's never that easy. And it was as well really it's freezing. It was freezing today, so it's not easy to start the game like that. But at the end of the day, we were all hoping that it was going to stay like that, because let's imagine that we were 4-0 up and then we have to replay the game again. So at the end of the day, we could have finished the game today. That's the most important thing.
What did you try to signal to the Arsenal fans after you scored the second one?
I tried with Dennis with the O2 thing with Dennis. I tried 1 hole and another hole, and my finger was 100 with Dennis. The both of us 100. I think, you know, it's really nice.
What about Christophe Dugarry? You know him well. Did he enjoy his debut, do you think?
I think he showed his quality today, and it wasn't easy. You know, they were throwing some ball in front of him in a channel, and you know, he was trying to hold the ball and create some chances. But I think he will do well.
You are the Barclaycard man of the match. 100 goals. Congratulations. Well done, Thierry.
Thank you.
Jamie, is that what you call a baptism of fire?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a difficult game, but that's what you expect. They're the champions of the league. We've got some quality players throughout the team, and it was going to be a battle. I mean, we worked hard enough, but we were just a bit short.
Is there that much of a difference in class?
Probably, yeah, but we're looking at the teams that are around us, make sure we get results against them, and hopefully we can pick up a few against the big boys.
The fact that you had so many debutants in your team, did that have an effect?
I don't know, it's hard to tell. I just enjoyed being out there, and that's it, really.
I was going to say, first impressions of the crowd and of the ground?
Yeah, crowd are fantastic. Pitch was superb today as well, after looking at people like Chelsea's yesterday. I mean, it's a great stage to play on, and just enjoying it.
So confident you could help keep them up?
Definitely.
Thanks for talking to us.
And the next 3 home games, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool. It just doesn't get any easier in this league, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's really interesting, because just after they came back out, I thought Birmingham started really, really well, setting about them. And I said to you, I said, Richard, they need to score. I said, because in a minute, Arsenal are going to go up the other end, bit of quality and get a goal. And that's exactly what happened. And days like today, like Andy's been saying, they don't expect to, you know, pick up their points today or to win games today. They expect to beat, you know, the Boltons and the other teams that are around them. So they've just got to dust themselves off now and get on with
But it's not so much, David, is it, that they've been beaten here? It's Steve Bruce's job now to ensure that it doesn't have an effect.
No.
3 without a win, and they've been taken apart, haven't they, here?
Yeah,
Andy Gray, you know, he made some very good points there about it. And as I say, Arsenal came out, they didn't start the second half. So it was vital that Birmingham had a couple of scrappy things around the penalty box, but they didn't score with it. And then Arsenal got going, and they were ruthless and deadly the other end of the pitch. And as I say, they scored wonderful goals. They just drowned them. That's a wonderful start.
And within 5 minutes, you're a goal down against the
Thank you very
champions. Now
much.
it's a mountain, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. It's very difficult from there on in.
Here's the move again. Look how much space there. Dennis picks it up. He loves this, running at defenders.
The clock on Henry's run.
Look at Robbie Savage. The full-back tries to come across,
Nobody's
I think.
got near him, have they?
Nobody's got near him.
That's halfway line to penalty box in just over 5 seconds.
Well, he's slowing down, isn't he? But look, the lad has got pace, plus he knows how to use it. And the bottom line, he came to Highbury. Congratulations on him on 100 goals. He came here not a prolific scorer. He came here, and I heard people say within football, good people, the lad is not a good goal scorer. And look what he's done. His ratio goals to games has been fantastic. Here again, Birmingham contributed to their own downfall here, and a lovely finish by Perez. Ruthless. They were ruthless in front of goal today.
From back to front again, we've got the
back to front. As I say, Birmingham, they can sort this out better. They didn't. It falls to Perez. He's got to adjust himself, his body running up to that ball, and the finish is ruthless.
I think Johnson's unlucky here. Look, a little nudge there just takes him out of his stride. His feet have gone. Now I know you'll say he should have done better.
I would still want him to do a little bit more there, and it's dropped to Perez, and
nothing went from the thing where Steve, you know, they're not expected to beat this team. You know, if they can get anything out of a draw, that great. The games you've mentioned coming up, if they can take something out, that brilliant. Where they've got to do well is against all the other teams to stay up, the teams that are around them. Where Steve, he'd be disappointed. Nobody wants to get beat 4. But I suppose he'd be disappointed that he's got to face, say, the directors. They've given him money to say, go out and improve the team, and the 4 players are out there, and you know, they've still had a big drubbing.
But you can't pass an opinion surely on the 4 that he's brought in here on the back of that, can you?
It's a baptism of fire. They played the best team in England, one of the best teams in Europe, their debut, new players, new ground, and it was always going to be hard for them. He's not going to judge. He's not going to judge the players on that today, and maybe even the next 4 games. It's like what David said. It's when they play against the teams that are in that so-called same league as Birmingham.
I said out the 4. You know, we were talking about the 4 players beforehand. I said about Dugarry, but I thought he showed flashes. I think if Steve gets a system here, I can't see him playing where he played today, but I think you can fit him into a system. I can see Steve maybe dropping him in behind a 2, particularly if he went to wing backs, and he can be effective there.
The second goal for Arsenal came just after a good spell of Birmingham pressure, as you were saying. The third, exactly the same. That had a really good 5 or 10 minutes here. If you don't score, you get punished, don't you?
Dennis has got time to pick a pass out. Loren makes a lovely run.
It's not his goal, though, is it? It's an own goal, surely.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Michael Johnson in this one. You know, he has had time to get his head up and pick the pass, and my initial thought was own goal, and I think it is, and he's under a lot of pressure, and he's got to compete for the ball. And like you say, it's a bit of bad luck. It's a bit of bad luck, in all honesty. He couldn't have known too much about it. He's competed. I think Lauren's headed it onto him.
And this is 4-0. Look at the feed here from Perez as well.
Oh, it's a great step.
Not a bad move, and we're going to see Henry. Look the pace that, you know, takes him away from this player. He's got an angle that you know where he's going to slot it, and he does. And a wonderful finish. Calmness. Ashley Cole starts it off, they get it down, a bit of a scramble, they get it out. Dennis Bergkamp on it. Perez, lovely drag back, he's in. Watch Henry make his run. He takes this ball, and all of a sudden, that little injection of pace takes him